Breaking news! Things are heating up behind the scenes in Patriots Nation. There's movement in the hallways, rumors are swirling, and decisions are being made that could change everything for the upcoming season. But before we dive into all this hot news, do me a favor, hit that like button if you believe the Pats have what it takes to make it to the next Super Bowl. Honestly, I believe in this team big time. And if you're riding with the Patriots too, show your support in the comments. Go Pats! I believe! What if I told you the Patriots just worked out not one, but two quarterbacks, and no one really knows why? That in the middle of an offseason where the roster is already stacked to capacity, New England quietly tested out two players with little fanfare, sparking more questions than answers? Yeah, you're going to want to stick around for this one, because the reasoning behind these workouts, along with who exactly was involved, will leave you scratching your head and questioning what Bill Belichick's legacy left in the hands of Elliott Wolf and Jerod Mayo is starting to look like. So, let's dive right in. The New England Patriots hosted workouts for two free agent quarterbacks, Jerry Jacobs and Christian Holmes. Now before we even begin breaking down the players, let's address the most puzzling part. Why? The Patriots are already operating with a 91-man roster, which is only even possible because Wilfred Penny, an undrafted free agent from France, is granted a special exemption through the NFL's International Pathway Program. Without that exemption, they'd be capped at 90. So, to sign anyone new, someone else has to go. And yet, despite this logistical ceiling, they brought in two guys who didn't even play in 2024. Let's start with Jerry Jacobs, because he's the more intriguing of the two. Jacobs actually brings some legitimate NFL experience to the table. In 2023, he started 15 games for the Detroit Lions, racking up 55 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 8 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions. That kind of productivity suggests real talent. But then the story takes a sharp turn. Jacobs didn't finish the 2023 season. He missed the final 2 regular season games and the playoffs due to a knee injury. He had also previously torn his ACL twice, once in college at Arkansas in 2019 and again in the NFL in 2021. Fast forward to 2024, he signs with the Rams in free agency, practices all offseason, and then just days before the season starts, he's cut. No warning, no public explanation. Rams beat reporters were baffled. The official reason? Undisclosed injury. That's all anyone knows. The team reached an injury settlement, which typically only happens when an injury is significant enough to keep a player off the field for an extended period. Now, stack that on top of Jacobs' already brutal injury history, 2 torn ACLs, a hamstring strain, a knee injury that cut short his best season, and now this mysterious 2024 issue. And you begin to understand why the Patriots might have been curious, but ultimately cautious. He hasn't played in over a year. No games, no practices, no workouts at NFL speed. That kind of rust, combined with his fragile track record, makes him a high-risk, low-reward proposition. Which brings us to Christian Holmes, and this one's just baffling. Holmes is entering his 4th year in the league, originally coming out of Oklahoma State. He spent time with the Washington Commanders, appearing in 17 games in 2022 and 13 games in 2023. But his stat line is, to put it kindly, invisible. In 3 seasons, he has a grand total of 20 tackles, no tackles for loss, no pass breakups, no interceptions, and his Pro Football Focus coverage grades, under 50 in 2022, slight improvement in 2023, but still nowhere near starter quality. Let that sink in. 3 years in the NFL, 0 game-changing plays, and one of the lowest PFF scores for a cornerback in the league. This is the kind of guy you might expect to see land in the UFL, maybe suit up for the St. Louis Battlehawks, and try to salvage a second act. But an NFL comeback? On a team already stacked at cornerback? That feels like a reach, especially when you consider what the Patriots already have in the cornerback room. Christian Gonzalez, by all accounts, one of the brightest young stars in the league, is coming off a strong OTA performance where he reportedly picked off Drake Maye twice in one day. Carlton Davis, a proven vet. Marcus Jones, a Swiss Army knife with breakout potential. Then you've got promising young players like Isaiah Bolden and Mr. Irrelevant himself, Kobe Minor, who already seem to offer more upside than Christian Holmes ever has. And let's not forget, New England's cornerback unit might be the deepest, most talented group on the entire roster. Top to bottom, it's arguably the strongest in the league. So why would you even entertain the idea of Holmes or Jacobs? It's clear the Patriots weren't looking for immediate impact. They're not desperate. They were simply doing their due diligence, exploring every corner of the free agent market, looking for potential hidden gems. Elliott Wolf and Jerod Mayo may have decided these guys aren't it, but it tells you something important. They're not leaving any stone unturned. In fact, league sources have already confirmed there are no plans to sign either of these players at this time. These were just workouts, recon, intel gathering, and in a league where injuries could strike at any moment, that information could be invaluable later on. But it does raise fascinating questions about how this front office is thinking. What does it say about their approach that they brought in a player with major durability red flags and another with almost no production to speak of? Is this just classic due diligence, or is there a deeper philosophy at play, one where they're constantly churning the bottom of the roster in search of something, anything, that might give them an edge in a tightly contested AFC East? Now, I want to hear from you. Would you have signed Jerry Jacobs? Does his 2023 production outweigh his concerning injury history? And what about Christian Holmes? Do you see any upside there that the Patriots might have missed? Rate the Patriots cornerback room from A to F in the comments and tell me, if it were up to you, would you roll the dice on either of these guys? Because one thing's for sure, the Patriots are watching everything. And while they didn't make a move this time, you better believe they're just getting started. Let me know what you think. And as always, and here's where it gets even more interesting. The decision not to sign either Jerry Jacobs or Christian Holmes after their workouts sends a very clear message from Foxborough. This front office is not willing to compromise roster integrity just for the sake of depth or familiarity. They're sending a message to the young guys in camp, to the undrafted rookies clawing for a spot, and even to the veterans holding onto their positions, that nothing is guaranteed, and every rep, every snap, every tape review counts. Think about it. Jacobs had real production in 2023. He was a starter for a playoff team. 8 pass breakups, 3 picks. That's not just serviceable, that's a legit contributor. If the Patriots were truly concerned about depth, if they were worried about health in the secondary, Jacobs would have been a logical pickup. But they passed. Why? Because this team isn't just collecting names. They're building a culture. The same goes for Holmes. Despite being in the league for 3 years, the fact that he's been unable to carve out even a rotational role, and with no impact plays to hang his helmet on, tells you everything you need to know. The Patriots are done with placeholders. They're not looking to take flyers on guys who are just there to fill practice reps. They want hungry, ascending players who can contribute immediately, or at least show the potential to do so. And that brings us back to the heart of this conversation, the Patriots cornerback room. Let's talk about it. Christian Gonzalez, he's not just the present, he's the future. In just one offseason, he's already becoming the tone setter for this defense. Reports out of OTAs are glowing. 2 picks off rookie Maye. That's not just instinct, that's preparation, discipline, film work. That's a guy who's playing with a chip on his shoulder, especially after being snubbed from PFF's top 20 under 20 list. His response? Let the play do the talking. That's a New England kind of answer. That's the mindset that wins you games in December. Then there's Carlton Davis, a physical, high IQ corner who can lock down WR1S across the league. His presence brings both swagger and stability. And let's not overlook Marcus Jones, whose versatility might make him the most intriguing weapon in this defense. Punt returner, nickelback, gadget player, he's got breakout candidate written all over him for 2025. Add in Isaiah Bolden and Kobe Minor, and suddenly this secondary is looking not just deep, but dangerously deep. Bolden's speed and length give him a real shot to be an impact